Good evening, good people. We got here in the end. Whew, what a day. Good evening, good evening, good evening. And as you join, it would be great if you could share and let me know where you're joining from. And also, if you would be kind enough to, what was I going to say? Tell me where you're joining from. Yes, the replay. If you're watching the replay, I would like you to just hashtag replay so that I know how many of you are catching this on the replay. Hi, Alice Coleman. Yes, hello again. And Karma Karoma, Efwaduku. Thank you guys for joining. Princess, listen, it's going to be lit tonight, trust me. Guys, as you join, please do share. Hi, Shireen. Thank you for being on here, guys. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's gonna be fire, fire, it's gonna be fire. Trust me. Hi, Oliver, how are you doing? I know Oliver is watching from the States. And Rosalind Sisse as well, Miss Salon, sister, how you do? I hope so everything good, yeah? Guys, do share, because this conversation, the more the merrier, most definitely. And, it would be really good to hear your opinions. Hi, Nana K. It was lovely seeing you yesterday. Thank you, Anita, for sharing. Once you do share, please do put it in the comments so that I can acknowledge you and give you a shout out all the way from London, England. You get me? That'd be great. Good evening, Anita. Shireen, thank you for being on here. What's the subject tonight? Well, you hold on. I'm going to tell you in just a minute. Who else is on here? Karma Karoma is watching from the UK. Brilliant. Excellent. Amma Agre. Is that Amma Agre? And that's Anita again. Anita, you keep popping up. Hi, Danny. How are you doing? Danny is actually the publisher of one of my books, Conscious Dreams Publishing. So you do need to check her out. If you have a story that's inspirational, or you've got a great story to tell, whether it's, non-fiction, fiction, whatever, she is the publisher to be with. I published my best-selling book, Not This Widow, with her, and she's amazing. I am also going to be publishing another book, hopefully by August, and it's about forgiveness. And I think I mentioned to you guys last week, if anybody had a story to share about forgiveness, to please do that. But however, let's park that for a minute. Let me just welcome you guys. So Amari Carr, thank you for being on here. Marlene Frank, good evening to you, sweetheart. Is that Sefu Kamara? If I haven't, I can't really see your name too well. Marlene, thank you for being on here. Shirley Anna Safabwa, my girl, how are you doing? D Hayes as well. Guys, as soon as you join, please do share, because we are going to have a bombastic conversation tonight. Trust me. And I know emotions, as I said, are running high. For, different reasons, So we are going to go through all of that. So let's just start from the beginning. Danny says, Not This Widow, such an incredible book. That's my bestseller that I wrote. That was a story about when I lost my late husband and the things that I went through, how I had to challenge like a lot of cultural pressures and learning how to grieve authentically. And look at me today. So God is definitely good. And, I've come a very, very long way in a relatively short space of time. So, yeah, it is a book to read, most definitely. Michelle Clark, thank you for being on here. And Shamika Williams, thank you. Angie Mack, thank you for being on here. And Sharon as well. AC and Beng, I was on her show last week and I had a fantastic interview with her. And I really do hope that I can go back as well. Mike Sams, thank you for being on here. N.O. Barbara as well. And Kayan Lamy. Okay, guys, I know there's a lot of you joining. As you join, once you share, I want you to put it in the comment box and where you are sharing from so that I can acknowledge you. Nana Araba said, bombastic. I made it. That just shows my age. Because only people over the age of a certain age use the word bombastic, you know what I mean? Hi, Deanna, lovely girl. My sweetheart, how are you doing? How's mum? I hope she's watching with you. Okay, guys, so let's just get to it. Before then, how are you guys feeling? Give me some hearts. Show me some love if you're feeling good. How are you feeling? Anna says, sharing from Cameroon. Oh, wonderful. I don't think I've had anyone watching from Cameroon before, so I'm really honored. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the show. Yes. So, guys... Right, let me introduce myself, because some of you don't know me and some of you may be watching this on the replay and thinking, who is this crazy woman that speaks so fast? But I will slow down once we start, this show. My name is Dilys. I am a best-selling author of the book, Not This Widow. That's my second book. My first book was called Predator or Prince, How to Find the Man of Your Dreams, Not Your Nightmares. I am an accredited and qualified life coach. I deal in the areas of what you will see me discussing here, which is relationships, confidence. I'm also a minister at New Glory Ministries in Romford, and I preach every Thursday in that church online. So if you're interested in that, inbox me and I'll send you the link and you can join. And I think I've mentioned that I'm an event host as well. I am launching the Speak with Dilys show. Keep the hearts coming, guys. It's great to see everybody's feeling good and you're on it. I'm doing the live show of Speak with Dilys on the 22nd of April at the Leonardo Royal Hotel in St. Paul's. VIP tickets are $49.99 and the gold tickets are $19.99. Networking, champers, food, it's happening. There's sponsorship opportunities and you can get yourself a table if you want to advertise your business. It is going to be amazing. I think I have got all the boring bits out of the way. So let me tell you why y'all are here tonight. Okay, so this is the 9th episode of Speak with Dilys. And again, for those of you that don't know me or why I put this show together, it's because I felt that there were conversations that we needed to have that we weren't having, and a safe space needed to be created in order for us to be able to have them. So nothing is off limits on my platform. I very rarely will you see me discussing news that's trending, because I normally feel that whatever needs to be said has been said. Not so for this Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith and Chris Rock situation, which you will see when we start getting into all of this. So I put this show together for us to have not just great conversation, but a learning experience so that we are able to heal and change ourselves and affect the communities and our families in which we live and work and exist. So that's why Speak with Dilys is on here. And I'm hoping to take this to a wider platform. I will be relying on you guys to help me do that. And I hope that you guys will buy your tickets and, shop and show out on the 22nd of April. Okay, all of that done. Speak with Dilys, episode 9. I'm going to read to you what we're going to be talking about tonight. We all know what's dominated the airways for the last few days, re the Will Smith and Chris Rock saga, and that infamous slap being penned in the history books right now, I'll say as I speak. But let's discuss something less obvious. Power of a Woman is the 9th episode of Speak with Dilys today, and here's why. Many reports on this story commend the actions of Will Smith for defending Jada Pinkett Smith's honor. But was that what was really going on? Was this about him or was this about her? How far should we expect our men to go to defend us? What other issues has this entanglement raised for these celebrities? Ketanji Brown Jackson is commended for her restraint during the Supreme Court vetting process, yet Will Smith is held for his retaliation. Double standards? Guaranteed, I repeat, guaranteed, you will have a riveting conversation about the subliminal messages and implications of those few seconds that has caused such a difference of opinion here. Guys, this is what we are going to be talking about. So I think, yes, you guys are tagging some people. So a Gifty, thank you for jumping on here. Nana Araba, thank you for being on here as well. Link for the tickets, please. Can somebody go onto Eventbrite and just type in Dilys, and that should come up, because I can't post as I'm doing the live. But yes, if somebody can post the link for the tickets, that would be very much appreciated. And you will get the details on my page as well. Portia, lovely to have you on here. How are you doing, my love? Long time no see. And David says, I'm in London. I've been to a kids' party. Ate so much. Listen, please don't talk to me about food, because I've just come from a buffet and I don't normally do buffets. But I really am so uncomfortable as I'm sat here. And because I'm smart, see the top I'm wearing. You cannot see my fat stomach. Everything is nicely tucked away. I now look very respectable. I have a 6-pack underneath here, 1 barrel and 1 keg. Everything is here. You know what I'm talking about, So guys, this is the topic of conversation. If you're feeling good, give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. If you're not feeling too good, let me know. Give me the care, whatever, so that I can acknowledge you and find out what I'm going with you. Why are y'all laughing? Because I said my stomach has been nicely tucked away. I look respectable. Look at my body. I look respectable. I have 1 barrel, 1 keg. I have everything packed up here. I've eaten like a dog. In fact, I've eaten like 3 dogs. You're not going to talk about that. That's not why we're here. Look here. Let's get the Paris direct. Okay, wonderful. I'm adoring. I don't know why you're laughing. Do you think tonight is going to be comedy? We are not going to be laughing tonight. Tonight is very, very, very serious. Those of you who are Ghanaian, you understand we're serious. Very, very, very serious. Hi, Benita Bradley. Miss Dimple, she's so fine. She's watching from the States as well. Okay, guys, let's get into it because there is a lot to talk about. As you join, please share so I can acknowledge you. And let's get going. So yes, I thought I finished reading this. Yeah, I did. Right. So the power of a woman isn't to be underestimated. And this power has been there from the beginning of time. Thank you very much, Lynette, for posting the link for the tickets for the Speak with Dilys launch. I really do appreciate it. And I'll thank you very much for the compliment. I did my hair yesterday and I dyed it as well because I have some gray hair that I'm trying to hide because I'm trying to tell myself I'm still a young chick. But it's a lie. Oh. These bones, they are very, very old. When I walk, you can hear them squeaking. But on the surface, it's covering a multitude of sins. You know what I mean? So thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Okay, so the power of a woman. We women, possess amazing power once we discover it. That power is there. The issue that we have as women is we don't know we have that power. So often we sell ourselves short in compromising and accepting the unacceptable because we do not realize the power that we possess as women. Oh, my homegirl Reki is on here. Thank you for being here. Marvin Bramble, thank you for tagging everyone. And it was lovely celebrating your 50th birthday today. I will sing happy birthday to you live on the Speak with Dilys show. Don't ramp, you know. If you stay till the end, I will sing to you. Just remind me and I will get that done for you. So listen. So as women, we possess amazing power. Now, whether you believe in the Bible or you don't is not the point, but we all have heard of Adam and Eve. Eve got Adam to do something that he knew that he should not do. Such is the power of a woman. For those of you that have heard the story of Samson and Delilah, thank you, Michelle, for posting the link. For those of you that have heard the story of Samson and Delilah, you will understand the power that Delilah had to bring down a mighty man with the power that she knew that she possessed. I'm just laying a foundation here. Hi, Jocelyn, who is Marvin's cousin. Thank you. It was lovely meeting you today. So shout out to you and the rest of the family. Now, once a woman is able to catch that revelation of the power that she possesses, she can use that power for good or for bad, good or evil. And this is where I want our heads to be at as we go in and start having this conversation. Aisha, thank you for being on here. Guys, as you join, please do share. Now, since I decided to talk about this, things have progressed. So now Will Smith has now resigned from the Oscars Academy. I think it's really sad. And obviously, for those that live under a rock and maybe y'all don't have no TV, no internet, no nothing, let me just explain what happened. Hi, Claudette. Lovely to have you on here. What happened was Chris Rock, who is a comedian, I remember seeing him once in Hammersmith, he's absolutely brilliant, was hosting the 94th Oscars. And Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith were in the audience, and he made a joke about G.I. Jane, who starred Demi Moore with cropped hair. It did not go well. I was going to say it didn't go down well, but actually, let's be truthful with what we actually saw, not how we have kind of modified the narrative thereafter. What happened was Chris Rock cracked a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, and he laughed, as in Will Smith laughed. Jada Pinkett Smith laughed because I've actually seen footage that took it from another angle. She laughed. And then the next thing, she looks at Will, and we women know that look because we give it to our kids and we kind of modify it for our men. And she looked at her husband, Will Smith, and the next thing, he gets up off his chair and he slaps Chris Rock in the face, sits back down and then heckles and says, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth. So that's where we are. Now, let's start from this point. Did Chris Rock know that Jada Pinkett Smith suffered from alopecia? Listen, tonight I'm about to give you the truth, and a lot of people are not going to like it. And one thing I always say is this show, what you will not find here is political correctness. What you will find is the truth. If you know you like to hear what you're used to, there's a button that says unfollow. I suggest you do that now, because you will get vexed on this show, because I will tell you the truth. And I'm very unapologetic about it. Now, did Chris Rock know that Jada Pinkett Smith had alopecia? I don't know. I watched the Red Table Talks. I missed that episode. I didn't know. I just thought, like most women, that, they cut their hair because they feel like it. Thank you, Oliver, for sharing. I really appreciate that. I didn't know that there was any other medical issue or reason behind it. I did not know. And this is why I say we human beings, we change the narrative to suit ourselves. And the problem is, Diana says she didn't know. I didn't know. The problem is we change the narrative to choose what we want to believe or the message that we want to put across or who we want to side with at any given time. And this is where I'm going with this. As a black woman, I'm very much aware of how sensitive our hair is to us. Very, very sensitive for so many different reasons, especially if you're living as a minority. Because how we choose to wear our hair defines us according to some other races. So if our hair is afro, then it means this. If our hair is not relaxed, it means this. If we're wearing However, this is where I'm coming from on this particular point. The hypocrisy is too much. Because I see a lot of black women saying how out of order Chris Rock was. We're not going to go into whether he knew or not at this point. For making a comment about Jada Pinkett Smith's hair without appreciating the fact that she has alopecia and blah, 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 blah. But you're the same black women that when you see a sister with a weave or with a wig, you're coming at her. I've seen it on my own platform. We are the same people who are going after Chris Rock to say he was out of order. And we're the same people that are dissing women who are wearing weaves and wigs. And you don't know they may have alopecia too. You're not staying out of their business. And yet you're getting onto Chris Rock and saying this, that, and the other. It's called hypocrisy. I've seen some of the comments. I'm like, whoa. Oh, a woman should have her hair natural and a woman shouldn't do this. And some women that wear weaves this and da, 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 da. Do you not realize how many women wear wigs and weaves because they have issues with their scalp and because they too have alopecia? But all of a sudden, we are so understanding now because we want to take sides. So for me, that really stuck in my throat. I thought, do we have no shame? The amount of discussions I've seen on social media, natural versus relaxed, natural versus weave, natural versus wig, and the sisters who have got natural hairs, and I'm not saying all of you, I'm talking in general terms here of what I see on here. I'm a social media person. I get involved in a lot of conversations. I observe a lot because it's my job. I see the natural sisters here and the sisters who have relaxed their hair here, and it is yet another thing that divides black women. I am better than you because my hair is natural. I see it all the time. Now, as my son would say, all of a sudden, we now see you hailing Will Smith for slapping the next man because he spoke about his wife's hair and she has alopecia. Do you know how many of your sisters don't have no hair? And with them making comments, disparaging comments about them because they have a weave on or because they're wearing a wig. Why don't you stay out of their business? So for me, that was what really, I was incredulous about that. I'm like, wow, all of a sudden we're so understanding. So I'm hoping that there will be a drastic reduction of comments about women who choose to wear wigs and weaves moving forward. I don't want to see anybody who was a part of this conversation opening their mouth about that side of it. Let me tell you something else. And I say tonight is going to be difficult for a lot of people. But like I said, my background is about relationships. The last time I checked, I am a black woman. I am very much aware of culture from an African perspective, culture as a so-called, and I never refer to myself as this, as a black British woman, but a woman who is black and was born in Britain. And I am very much aware of the challenges that we have as women of color. One thing that was very evident was the reason why a lot of women didn't side with Chris Rock. And it's unfortunate we feel that we would even have to take sides, is because Will Smith, and I quote, defended the honor of Jada Pinkett Smith. Defended the honor of Jada Pinkett Smith. I will tell you why so many women, black women, were so infused and encouraged by seeing that. And I'll tell you why. And this is where you people might not like it, but do I look bothered though? Do I look bothered? Am I bothered? You know why? Because many of us black women are very rarely defended by our black men. Very rarely. Publicly or privately. Most of the time, we are the defenders of our men. But our men are not normally defenders of us, black sisters. I am not talking exceptions. I am saying generally. Why do I say this? Whenever there is an issue that involves black women, like R. Kelly, I'm going there, like Bill Cosby, where is the defense of the black woman? We don't see it. Very rarely do we have our black men standing up for us. We marry into your family and your mother can verbally abuse us and do whatever she wants, but you won't defend us. Your sisters can come and run us and you won't defend us. We are not used to being defended by you. So when we see it, common sense goes out of the window in us saying that defend us, but not like that. Don't defend us at your expense. Because if the two are truly one, what affects you affects me. Unless the two are still two. But if the two are one, your downfall is my downfall. And the reason why I saw this passion, and I looked and I thought, hold on, why? Why are these women so, he's defending her honor. And I'm like, at what cost? Do you defend the honor of your wife at such a high cost? And if the cost is that high, why would she want you to? Why would she want you to? The issue is this for me. Why do things always have to be two extremes? Because the question I asked when this thing first happened was, if Chris Rock had not been smacked in the face by Will Smith, would we have demanded or would we have expected Will Smith to have slapped Chris Rock? Let's keep it real here. The answer would have been no. So why is it the fact that it was done that we are still trying to defend it as if that was the only way in which to defend the honor of his wife? How? Let me tell you something. I may be classed as a widow now, but I was once a wife. If this was me and my late husband or any other man that I love, and I know that he is about to face, the peak of his career, something that he has worked for 25 something years. For those of you that know me, Dilys Silla, do you think I would allow any man to defend me at that cost? Let me tell you something. I had a conversation with somebody and they were saying that, but it would have been, I said she should have held on to her husband. Even if she went after him and she held him and whispered something in his ear, because you know you have that power I was speaking about. You have that power of Eve. You have that power of Delilah. You just need to know how to use it. Let me tell you something. Jada Pinkett Smith, she knows how to use it. That's why she was able to give that look. And like an obedient dog, he was up running. She knew how to use that power. And I'm just speaking for myself as a woman. I would rather defend the honor of my man than his ego. I would rather defend the honor and the integrity of my man than his ego. If it meant I have to run after you and just say, babe, it's okay, leave it. Come on, man. How many of us women and partners have our men not been about to do something dumb and you have just said, babe, it's all right, just leave it, babe. Baby, so babe, leave it. Because you know you possess the power of Eve. You know you have the power of Delilah. So you're not going to sit back and watch your man hang himself out to dry. And you're mute, you know. So for me, this is not a question of whose side am I on. I'm on the side of the woman that wants to maintain the integrity of her man so that when he is at his peak, he doesn't crash and burn. There is a lesson in here for all of us. And I remember preaching a message about a month ago where I said, listen, the devil will let you, because that devil is in you, reach your peak when you don't deal with those things in your character and personality that you should have dealt with in private. He will wait for you to deal with it in public for all to see. For all to see. And all I'm saying is that we can keep on deceiving ourselves and picking sides and miss the greater message out there, because there is a lesson in what happened to Will Smith for all of us. There's a lesson to Chris Rock's response for all of us. There's a lesson for how Jada Pinkett Smith decided to manage her business for all of us. But the moment we become so childish, so myopic, and so unwise in just wanting to pick sides, the lessons that we should learn from each one of these people is lost. And that's why I said, I don't do political correctness. I will come to you with the truth. Hypocrisy, like I said with our sisters. Oh, well, I've got natural hair. My hair's relaxed, deal with it. In fact, I did a hairline relax yesterday and dyed the front too. And what? That's my business. Does that make you a better woman than me? Hell no. Does it mean that I'm better than you because you've got natural hair? No. But we need to stop finding different excuses to bring that divide. And we do it all the time. For me, when this thing first happened, I think I wrote on my Facebook, as far as I was concerned, I just saw two brothers that had now become an embarrassment to all of us. What happened never should have happened. Guys, if you joined, please can you share? It never should have happened, but it did happen. And I'm saying that we need to start to think more here and dissect and debunk this whole thing and think, hold on, what is there to learn here? Because are we saying the only way this man could defend his wife was to be violent in full view of millions of people? Really? Are you women trying to tell me that you're looking for a man that will compromise himself and ruin himself just to defend you? Then you know what? You ain't worth it. Then if that's the case, you ain't worth it. If that's what you feel a man has to do, let me tell you something. The one question that can never ever be answered adequately is, how much do you love me? The only one that can answer that question and get away with it is God. You ain't God. The moment your husband or your wife has to feel or is made to feel that they have to prove how much they love you, then that's a problem right there. That's a problem right there. Because if they're loving you in the language in which you understand, it should be enough. And if somebody is demanding that you prove how much you love them, let me tell you something. It's like a piece of string. You can't measure it. Because each time there will be a demand for you to prove more. Because when their insecurities set in, or when they feel their power is waning, they need you to prove, how much do you love me? Can you pay that price? Because trust me, it comes very high. My girl was cool in the beginning, you know. There is a time and there is a place. If any of us that work a 9 to 5, we're in the office and someone says something and we smack them in the face, and we came home and said, oh, my colleague at work made a comment I didn't like and they were disrespectful, so I punched them. Are you saying you would tell your family member, way to go, that's great, that's really good, yeah? Really? Stop with the hypocrisy. Because let me tell you something. In this life, everything we do is a seed and it grows in this life. So when you support evil, evil will come for you. Because circumstances and situations will happen and they will manifest and they will answer to that seed that you sowed somewhere and said it was all right, it was cool. So we have to be mindful of what we say is okay. What we saw, Will Smith, Chris Rock, to me, there were two brothers who had reached the peak of their game. And what did we do? We sat back and we took sides. This is not Ghana versus Nigeria. This no be football. Oh. If not football, no problem. This no be football. This not our brother. Chris Rock, Will Smith. Let me read some of your comments. There's loads. So let me start. Eunice, thank you for joining, my lovely. Doreen, Helena Poku. Laura from the States, thank you so much for being on here. How is your beautiful granddaughter? I have been looking at the pictures. Anita Agri says, I said the exact same thing. Maybe she was in shock and unable to move, but I'd like to think I would have tried to stop him from the moment he stood up. She wasn't in shock. She wasn't in shock. She wasn't in shock. Michelle says, right, cuz he was laughing until he saw her Jezebel face. He was laughing. But the moment she gave him the look, guys, please share. The moment she gave him the look, it was all over. He knew what he needed to do. And what I'm saying is that as women, we know we possess that power. And as we possess that power, we need to know how to use it. We can use it for good. We can use it for evil. And all I'm saying is, if that were my man, I'll be like, baby, it's okay. I can weather that storm for you in that situation at that time. Because if it's ego, like I said, I would rather protect your honor than your ego. I would not watch you to crash and burn. Let me read some more of your comments. Kukwa Apre says, yep, shocking that she didn't run after him. Horatius, thank you for being on here. Lynette says, live, Jada has to live with this. I feel for Smith's family. I think it's very, very sad now that he has resigned from the Oscars Academy. I think it is extremely sad. Eno says, at the cost of bringing down his own reputation. Absolutely. Laura says, so on point. Thank you so much. Cowboy says, yep. Ifwa says, right. I'm getting some thumbs up there. Rosalind MC says, spot on, my dear. The Incredible, who's an amazing artist. You need to go on her page and look at the painting that she does. She's fantastic. You know me, I like to give a shout out to people that are doing great things. Please do share this video. Tag somebody. The Incredible says, the fact that you want to slap someone doesn't mean you have to carry it out. Oh, girlfriend, that is just so true. There's many a time you want to box someone in their forehead, but you can't. Michelle says, tell them. Amen to that. Michelle Clark says, right, who's bringing up these kids when he's in prison? Preach, Dilys. Yes. Hey, Duchess Ife. She also does a lot of relationship stuff as well. So do go on her page. Her page is public, so you can get onto her stuff as well. Amadori says, defend me with positive words and not violence or your career and character. Exactly. Now, the other thing for me was the fact that I looked at certain things. I thought, as I said, was this the only way that Will Smith could have defended his wife? Was this the only thing that he could have done? I started to do a bit of research. You know, I like my research. And I thought, was he defending her honor? Because people are like, oh, he's defending her honor. And the question I asked myself was Will Smith defending her honor or obeying her wishes? Because the two ain't the same. The two are not the same. And I don't believe that violence is the only way. And I want to read out some stuff to you. Because there was once a black man, and as far as I'm aware, he's still a black man with a black wife. And his black wife was disrespected more than any black woman I know of publicly. Daily, she was disrespected. And this black man defended the honor of his black wife by being an honorable man himself. And this is some of the stuff that was said about this woman. She's not classy enough and is an atrocity as First Lady. She makes a fool of herself every time she comes on TV. I have to turn it off. That was said by Laura Bush. She said, yeah, I have to turn off my TV. She has no class, and that's what we really need again. Laurie Boylard quoted by Bloomberg Politics at a party for a Republican candidate's wife. She's an ape in heels. This was said by Pamela Ramsey Taylor, director of Clay County Development Corporation, who later swore that she was not racist. You know, that old chestnut. She has a gorilla face. That was said by Patrick Rushing, a mayor of Airway Heights, Wash. She is a poor gorilla who needs to focus on getting a total makeover, especially her hair, instead of planning vacations. That was said by Georgia, a school teacher, Jane Wood Allen. Do you know who this was? Michelle Obama. Far more important than Jada Pinkett Smith. First Lady of the United States of America. You know who her husband was, right? Obama. This is what was said about his wife on a daily. And you know what he did? He carried himself like the dignified, respectable man that he was. I don't even remember even reading anywhere him even responding to the nonsense that was said about his wife on a daily. I just read to you what was said about his wife on a daily. An ape in heels. You know what it's like to be a black person and to be called a monkey or to be called an ape? Guys, if you're on here, please share so that I can acknowledge you and give you thanks. Yeah? So we're acting like we've not seen this before. We're acting like the Chris Rock disrespected Jada Pinkett Smith in a way that a black woman has never been disrespected before. Stop it. Like, just stop it. Behave yourself. Stop it. You want disrespect? That was disrespect. Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith have been to the Oscars many, many, many times. Unless you've never watched the Oscars before, anybody that they get to host, they crack jokes. Maybe it was an expensive joke, but it wasn't an expensive joke if Chris Rock didn't know she had alopecia. And from the reports, he didn't know she had alopecia. Now, when you look at the person he compared her to in that movie, G.I. Jane, it was about a military woman who basically she was a kick-ass chick that wanted to show that she could do just as great as the men. If it was a movie about a woman who had lost her hair through sickness or cancer or something, then I said, the brother's out to ada. But it wasn't about that, other than the hair, which to me goes to show that he couldn't have known. Because if he really wanted to be a bitch, there's so many things he could have said. He could have asked whether they were taking a vacation in August. I'm not being funny. There were so many things that he could have said. Now, when you're talking about a man defending the honor of his wife, what could be more embarrassing to any woman than for a woman to sleep with a man and for the man to go and open his mouth and tell people out there that, yeah, I had that woman, and then go and make a song about it? That's what August did. Will Smith he didn't say nothing. This guy who was a friend to your son was up in your wife's crutches, mind my French, okay? Disrespected you. That was real disrespect. But you see, me, all I wanted to know, let's go to Ghana. All I want to know, if it was Mike Tyson that was hosting the Oscars, or Ricky Gervais, who is very rude, or if it was 50 Cent, he would have turned Will Smith into $2. Do you think Will Smith would have got, or if Whoopi Goldberg had made that comment, do you think Will Smith would have got up? To me, that's a sign of a bully as well. In that moment, he was acting like a bully. Because he gave no sense to know that if it was 50 Cent, when he's standing there saying, what is even any of 50 Cent's song? Not go, 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 it's your birthday. I'll take you to the candy shop. He would have taken Will Smith shopping. Will Smith gets sense. He wouldn't have gone there. But he looked at Chris Rock and he thought, he's small. He looks a little bit frail. I can dash him in his jaw. And that's what he did. If it was anybody else, it wouldn't have happened. I don't think. So to what degree? Because for me, if you're going to defend somebody's honor, you defend somebody's honor at all counts, at all times. But he didn't. Because you could have had a test run with August, but you didn't do it. But you're doing it at the Oscars? Okay. So let's talk about the trauma of Will Smith. In fact, let's read some comments. And I don't know why people are laughing, because it's true. So Aisha says, comedy might be helpful at difficult times. True. Many comedians, including Russell Brand, Sarah, yep. I'm telling you, Smith, Simon Amstel, and Jimmy Carr have written about mental health in their books, but never used medical conditions to shame people. But you have to understand something. Did he know? I didn't know she had alopecia. So when Chris Rock made that joke about G.I. Jane, I just thought he was just comparing the fact that she had cropped hair and now she had cropped hair. I didn't think it was because, oh, she might have alopecia. How the hell am I going to think that? Because if I'm going to think that, I might as well think, oh, maybe she's going through chemo and she's got cancer. There are people that have got alopecia for different reasons. I didn't know. I really didn't know. And he's saying he wasn't aware. Sadina Gama, thank you for being on here. Duchess Ife said it indicates a lack of self-worth. Sheila, I love how you spell your name. She says, can we also see the future of comedian in this case? Everything shouldn't be a joke. Sickness has no joke. Again, I still repeat, if you do not know, then you can't, then you would make a joke. Because like I said, I thought it was really about the haircut. He didn't know. You are very right about everything you're saying. Thank you, Harriet, and thank you for joining. I don't know, recognize your name. Adija Lawal, thanks for being on here. Echo says, I think she doesn't care about the man's reputation because with just a blink, she was willing to put away his life's effort. Well, let's go. I want to make a point about something, but let me just read some comments. Doris says, it's a shame that he defended his wife with violence. Absolutely. Do you think it was staged? Michelle Clark, do you think it was staged? No. Regular Joe Blogs couldn't have got so close to Chris Rock. Where was security? I don't think it was staged. You know why? Why would anybody be that stupid to stage something like that and basically destroy his whole reputation? Everything that he's worked for is down the toilet. And you know what? You know me, I like to keep things real. I dated somebody once that did foolishness like that. Many a time we would go out and guys would try and chat me up and his response would be, why are you looking at my woman? Trust me, I was a lot younger then. This was not my husband. This was way before then. And I've only ever dated one man like that. He was the first and the last. And he used to do that. I can't tell you how embarrassed and disempowered I felt as a woman whenever he behaved in that way. I did not feel that there was anything honorable about that. There was nothing that made me think, oh, I feel so special that he's got up and smacked that guy in the mouth. It was demeaning. It was embarrassing. I felt like a possession. I hated it. There is no woman that respects herself and is worth her salt that will feel good at looking at her husband or her boyfriend or her partner or her whatever resort to violence to defend her honor. It is a lie. The person that will even demand it, run from such a person because they want to finish you. Such a person doesn't love you and they don't have your best interest at heart because they will not demand for you to protect them at such a high cost. When a guy says, I love you so much I could kill for you, do you not think that's a psycho in the making? I used to run a charity called Who Will Hear My Cry, raising awareness on rape, child abuse and domestic violence. You see that kind of behavior? It's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's nothing to brag about to your friends. I am not saying that Will Smith is of that whatever, because my understanding is that this was quite out of character. But was it? Because when you look at Will Smith's story, the fact that his father was very violent towards his mother, and he vowed that he was never going to be that person, you're dealing with somebody that has got trauma. Whether he's worked through his trauma and laid his trauma and his demons to rest is a debatable point. However, you are now in this relationship with your wife, whom you have both decided that you want to have, I say this loosely because I was not there. You claim and what you've told the public is that you have an open relationship. This one can sleep off with that one and that one can sleep off with that one. Let me tell you something about open relationships. In fact, let me back up. We live in an era now where you can't say anything about anything. You must accept any lifestyle or any life choices a person wants to make and nod your head and say, yes, it's good. Because you can make it, you can have it, and then it's okay. But here's what I want you to understand. When it all goes pear-shaped, are you going to give any contrary advice to what you knew was not right or what you could see may not be helpful to them? Because the thing about having an open relationship is the moment one person is not so open, then it ain't a relationship. Then there's problems. But many people don't want to talk about that. No, it works for them. Look at how embarrassed, how belittled, how weak and how pathetic Will Smith looked. Not just after it came out that his wife had been having this, well, you can't call it an affair because it's an open relationship, while she'd had this entanglement with this guy. And when he did the Red Table Talks to speak about that whole saga, and she was saying that he was not loving me how I wanted him to love me. She couldn't even make it better for her husband. Everything doesn't have to be said for the public. Everything isn't there for us to have to know. That's why we have men like Denzel Washington, who you ain't ever hearing about, no scandal, no way, no how, because he keeps his business where it needs to be. And while she came out and basically, I was going to use a phrase, but I can't, but basically just put it out there for all to see, you compromised your husband yet again. Because after you were entangled, you needed to detangle so that you could unwrangle your husband. At least allow the man to preserve some dignity. Who knows? Maybe after he had laid the demons to rest from the trauma, maybe from his childhood and stuff like that, he was cool till you brought him out there again. And a lot of people are saying what he did at the Oscars was to show that, yes, I can keep my home and I can, at what cost? Because if that's what you're having to do in order to maintain your home and feel that you are protecting your wife, you went about it the wrong way. You went about it the wrong way. Because I ain't heard no comment from Jada Pinkett Smith in the tabloids saying anything, really. She didn't say nothing. Nothing at all. But Chris Rock is a don. Because to take a big man of 50-something years of age to be humiliated and treated like a boy in front of millions and still be professional, I have mad respect for Chris Rock. I have mad respect for him because that could not have been easy. Let me read some of your comments. I need to know that was certainly not the only way. It's obvious that Will regret his impetuous actions. He let himself down badly, but there is always forgiveness. I hope he can learn to forgive himself. This is not the Will Smith we know. Not at all. And don't get it twisted. Who doesn't like Will Smith? Like, seriously. If you don't like Will Smith, log off. Atanashka, thank you for being on here. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Great to have you on here. Aisha says, medical condition is a no-go area for me. Both of them are wrong. Only if he knew. If he didn't know, he can't be wrong because you can't be held accountable for something that you don't know. I'll let my man walk away to also defend his career, honor his respect in the industry. The money coming in will let me turn the other cheek 70 times. I hear you, Gifty. I can't. Listen, let's take it away from the Oscars. My husband was a hothead. Most of the time when people see me, they think, oh, your husband was so nice. He's always smiling. You people are not serious. You didn't live with him. My husband was a hothead. I'm going to tell you now. Eddie was a hothead. And if he was here, he would admit it. He would tell you that my wife, she's a quiet one. Oh, but me, I don't have patience. Many a time I've had to say, it is okay, babe, leave it. Because I know that I am the only person that can control that. No one else has the power to do it. I'm the only one that can control that. She didn't do that. Gifty says, I'll let my man... Okay, I've read that. Leonie says, no winners. Carbo says, at first I thought it was staged, but then after actually watching, shocking, really. Eno says, should there be a limit to comedians? Of course there should. All I'm saying is, if the person does not know, that's why I'm saying that if he had made that joke and G.I. Jane was a film about a woman who was having an affair, or that film was a film about a woman who was suffering from cancer, or that film was about a woman who lost her hair through alopecia, bang to rights. That film was about a woman who was kick-ass in the military and basically wanted to show the men that she could do the job just as well as just as well as them. And also all the opposition that she faced. I'm trying to do this from memory because I watched this film years ago. And that all the opposition that she faced from the men to get her out of that whatever, that she was able to stand her ground. If anything, it was a compliment. Like I said, if he was going to make a derogatory statement about her hair, that's not the film that I believe he would have used. Michelle Clark says, that's right, you can't wrap up yourself in nastiness and expect to stay clean. Well, Afolabi, how are you doing, my brother? It's lovely to have you on here. Nane Chan said, exactly, what are we teaching the younger generation? That anger and violence is unacceptable. That anger and violence is acceptable? Very sad. Amadorine says, for all its good word and good character, it's gone to waste for that one event. Even his mum is in shock. I'm in shock and I do feel sorry for him. I feel for him. Denise says, I believe that he had to do it because if he didn't, he would have broken loose. Well, hell would have broken loose, I think, yeah. When he gets home. Exactly. Adrian Broom says, I agree with you. Thank you. Rosalind Sisek says, well, Will Smith was laughing until she gave him the look. I know, and I find it so funny why people seem to forget that minor detail, that he was actually finding it funny before he realized, actually, my wife could kill me. Guys, I'm running out of time, but I'm going to keep on reading your comments. Anita says, I think his reaction is indicative of deeper problems within the family. Too much personal stuff has been shared. I couldn't agree with you more with the world. I'm telling you, there's a saying in my language that you don't use your family business to go and get a loan. Because you know what? You will never be able to pay it back. Don't use your personal life as collateral. And the interest rate on that, you can't take it back. She should have maintained a dignified silence after this August whatever, instead of going one step further and in the spirit of foolishness, as far as I'm concerned, bring down your husband again. Because listen, ladies, let me chat to you, okay? We are not the same as men. The ego of a man is real and it is fragile. And I'm not saying that you massage a man's ego for him to carry on with foolishness. But if you love your man, don't crush his spirit. Don't break him. Don't reduce him to nothing just because he loves you. Let me tell you something. There are few men that I have dated, but I have not had that connection with. But as God in heaven is my witness, I have never abused it. I was actually going to write a book, and I think I mentioned it before, called What They Didn't Tell You About Delilah. And the reason why I want to write this book is because I feel that it's a book that women need to hear. Delilah, the story of Samson and Delilah, I'm sure we all know that story, where Samson's strength was in his hair. He was supposed to keep it a secret, not tell anybody. But through his relationship with Delilah, he divulged that piece of information to her, and she used it against him. Now, for me, why I say everybody needs to know the power that Delilah has, because it's for us to know how to be with our men. Because Delilah used what she had for evil. I want to teach women to use it for good. Because what Delilah did and where it should have stopped was be able to have your man love you, trust you, respect you, have confidence in you to the point where he knows he can be himself when he is with you. That he doesn't have to worry about who is going to cut his hair when he's with you. Because he knows that you've got his back. He knows you love him. He knows you care for him. He knows you will stand by him. He knows you will protect him. And he knows that you will fight for him. Me, when I'm with anybody, you know the picture I have in my mind when I'm with my man? That I am here and he's standing behind me. I will protect you. Ain't nobody, listen, I'm going to keep it real. Couple of my exes watch this show. Couple of you watch. Because, you know, I don't have any bad relationship with any ex of mine. Just one. Kind of have no sense. But on a serious note, for me, even my friends will tell you I am fiercely loyal. So for me to be in a relationship with a man, oh, hell no. Nothing bad will happen to you on my watch. Nothing bad will happen to you on my watch. I will fight for you. I will protect you. I will do everything within my power to make sure that you get to where you need to go. That's me. So as a woman, when you know you possess that power, you don't ever abuse it. The problem is we women don't know that we possess the power, and therefore we settle for what we shouldn't settle for. Or we have the power, but because of our insecurities, that insatiable desire to be validated, we abuse it, and we put the man in a position where he's constantly having to prove that he loves us as much as we demand. That ain't the way to go. But you see, Delilah knew that she had that man in the palm of her hand, and she should have used it for good, but she used it for evil. Jada Pinkett Smith understands the power of Delilah. Trust me. She understands the power of Delilah. William Manfield, thank you for being on here. I appreciate you being here. Let me just read a comment from Amaka. She said, it's worse when the female is narcissistic because the grip on the man is tight. And you see, let's you know, like I keep saying, you see, as men, we know, as women, we know what you men like. So once we have you there and we're giving you good sex on top of that, you are finished. Like we would destroy you. Because we know what buttons to push. And you see, when a man is in love with a woman and he's getting everything that he wants, or the woman has managed to put him in that box where everything that he wants, she's the only one that can supply it. And she's giving that thing to other people. Please don't deceive yourself and say just because they're in an open relationship, they all cool. They're not all cool, you know, because that man is suffering. And I think we need to understand one other thing, and I've got that written here somewhere, is that if you are in an open relationship, there has to be a get out clause somewhere. There has to be a time where you are able to say, okay, I agree to an open relationship at this age when we didn't have kids or we didn't have this much at stake. But now that we are here, I don't want to do this anymore. And if you truly love each other like you claim, you should be able to either say, yes, I agree, I will accept that our relationship is going to take on a different look, or I'm not about that life. Because when one person no longer wants to be in an open relationship, it is a recipe for disaster. So there you go. Guys, I'm going to whisk through now. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, and one last thing. Jada Pinkett Smith, what she did was she exercised her power over Will Smith. She didn't exercise her love. And that ultimately is the last thing I'm going to say about that, because I want us to go away and think about it. As I called this show, was the power of a woman. Don't underestimate your power. Sharon says, her honor. Dee says, yeah, let's not go there. Dee Ibiama says, no need for the slap. Other ways to skin a cat. Exactly. I think I said the same thing. I said, there are many ways to skin a cat without getting skinned yourself. Otherwise, what's the point of skinning? Just skin up teeth. Obeying her wishes, Inel said. Adrian Breams, thank you for being on here. He said, unresolved trauma in his life. It looks like that. GQ and J, thank you for being on here. Kabu says, obeying her wishes, sadly. Yep. Evelyn Kwachik, thank you for being on here. Chris Udo, thank you. J Master Funk, the comedian in the house, how you doing? Nikki Aqua, thank you for being on here. Michelle Clark says, Will Smith has felt insecure as a man from when, though? I watched a documentary when they mentioned him feeling insecure after his relationship, I think you mean her relationship with Tupac. He didn't feel hood enough for her. Man singing about summertime and getting jiggy with it, slapping someone down doesn't make you a man. Well, I couldn't agree more. Anita says, wow, Michelle Obama. Yes, those are the comments that were made about Michelle Obama. I don't recall Obama slapping anybody or even responding to their foolishness. Princess, how are you doing? She says, I'm with you 100%. I said same on my profile. We know our man. I would yank my heels off and be dragging him back to his seat by his collar. Better that momentary, temporary humiliation that will soon be forgotten than the permanent damage to our family, which will be deeply engraved in history. So sad. And it is so sad. And this is why I wanted to have this discussion, because this nonsense of, oh yes, but you can't allow him to disrespect his wife and it's wrong. And listen, are we honestly saying that it was worth it? Are we honestly really going to sit here after the drama that has followed to say, in hindsight, I still believe that Will Smith acted in the best interest of himself and his wife and his family, and he did the right thing? Really? I don't think so. Denise said, Jada wears the trousers. She controls their relationship. That's pretty evident. Ali Rikiatu, thank you for being on here. Victor Amable or Amable, thank you for being on here as well. Elizabeth as well. You are very, very welcome. Helena Opoku, Tina Menz. I'm just going to quickly interject here that I am having the Speak with Dilys launch at the Leonardo Royal Hotel in St. Paul's, London on the 22nd of April. Tickets are $49.99 for the VIP tickets. You've got champers, we've got food, we've got networking, premium seating, private party. So do get your ticket. I believe if somebody could post the link again, that would be great. And ordinary tickets, the gold tickets are $19.99. Guys, buy your tickets because the VIP section is going to be closed off very, very soon. So do come. We're going to be having a great conversation. I'm launching the live show of Speak with Dilys on that day. So y'all need to share and you need to come and support. You get me? Okay. Right. So let me read some more comments. So Lynette says, Ricky Gervais did worse in the role. He is the Rose King. Oh, Ricky Gervais he's merciless. Carbu says, my 15-year-old said he should have slapped August if he wanted to defend her honor. That's a 15-year-old. My 15-year-old said exactly the same thing. So what happened? These kids ain't stupid. No, we adults could probably learn a lot from them. Okay, so what else? Michelle Clark says, that's true. You box someone, you know who you know you can box. That's true that. Sheila says, the slap wasn't even hard. I personally think it was a play went wrong. Really? You think so? You need to replay it and bring up the volume. You know when someone slaps you, going here, in your ear. That was the kind of slap he got. Will Smith is going through a terrible breakdown and the only way he could cry out for help was to get up to slap Chris R. Will Smith needs therapy. Okay, so guys, let's start to wrap up here. Why are we... I put down here that, is it double standards for women, black women and black men? And I think it is. And I think this has always been the case. When you look at... when you look at this lady who was being vetted for the Supreme Court position, and you look at the amount of disrespect that she was shown, her husband was there. We were all saying how great it was, she carried herself with such dignity and it was so this and it was so that. And then Will Smith does something and it's like, yeah, we can understand. Why is it for us black women that kind of standard was placed on us, but not that same level of standard placed on Will Smith? Again, double standards and hypocrisy. We have got to be consistent with the standards that we claim that we have for each other. Because other than that, it just don't make no sense. We lose all credibility when we do that. Why are we hailing Will Smith? I think I've mentioned that point actually. I was going to go into it more, but I'm looking at my time and I'm running out of time now. So I'm going to start to bring this home. Love is more than words. When you love someone, clean love, proper love, a love that has gone through the filter of healing. There are two types of love. A love that has gone through the filter of healing and is clean love. And something that claims to be love that comes from a place of trauma. That kind of love where, like I mentioned, the man loves you so much that you can't even go out to a nightclub without him getting up and asking, why are you looking at my woman? Apparently that was love. Or you can have a love that is sacrificial, that says it costs me, but because I am ready to put myself aside and put you first, I am able to honor you in that space, because right now, in this moment, you need my love more than I need yours. I have enough love for the two of us in this situation. Love is more than words. Many people claim to love, but when it comes to doing, to showing that love in the way in which it needs to be shown, it ain't love. Personally, I feel that Jada Pinkett Smith left her husband out to dry. And my only wish, and I really hope this is not prophetic, that she doesn't leave Will Smith after this. Because if she does, I think even I will have to go to the States and go and drag her. Because if ever he needed her, it would be now. You see, even if you feel you will benefit from something, if it hurts your mate, don't do it. If you feel that you will benefit from something, if it hurts the person you claim to love, don't do it. Guys, if you're watching and you've not shared, please do. How much do you love me? It's not a question anybody can ever answer. Many a time we're taught that a woman's covering is her husband. But let me tell you something. A man's covering is his wife. It's not a one-way street. It is not a one-way street. A man has to feel just as covered as you, the wife. Because he's a man. He doesn't get to cry like we do. He doesn't get to be vulnerable like we can. The only person that he will do that with is the woman that he calls his wife because he trusts her. You have to be that safe place. You have to have the lap of Delilah. I know a lot of religious people ain't going to like it, but tough. You are going to have the lap of Delilah where he can lay his head and speak his deepest, darkest secrets and know that he is safe. Because if as a wife you can't cover your husband, he's got nowhere else to go. There is nowhere else for him to go. Cover your husbands, ladies. Your husband's flaws should be for your eyes only. They shouldn't be for anyone else. There should be nothing that your husband lacks in terms of character that should ever be called up by an outsider when he has a wife. That's your job. That's your job. Listen. There were many private conversations I had with my late husband about character. Because I was the only person that had the authority to go there. It couldn't be open season for any other person to say, oh, well, no. Once this woman is your wife or your partner, I take on the responsibility to be your everything beyond the emotional. I have to be your coach. I have to be your confidant. I have to be that place where you go to that's called safety. I have to cover you. Will Smith has no covering. I'm telling you, Will Smith, he has no covering. That's why what happened. You may agree, you may disagree, I don't business. What I do know is that for those women that have ears and want to maintain their home and maintain their husbands so that you don't see them melting down like that outside, you'll catch what I'm saying. You'll catch it. Because the fact of the matter is that a spirit of a man is easily broken. A spirit of a man is easily broken. It is easier to break a man's spirit than it is to break a woman's spirit. It's easy to break a man. You can break a man's spirit like that. It doesn't take much. One or two things just to mash up his ego. He's done for. But for a woman, it takes a lot more. Because we're the ones that will stand in front of the mirror and say, I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm this. I know I'm that. I know that it's not what's on the out. The men don't do that. They constantly will go to that woman that they feel is their safe place for that validation. Baby, I believe in you. There is no word more powerful than the power of a woman in the life of her man. Baby, you can do it. I trust you. I believe in you. I have confidence in you. I am behind you. Trust me. That man is a different man. Totally different man. But you tell your man how stupid he is, how he's useless, how he can't provide. He ain't even good. It won't take a week. You'll reduce him to rubble. So when you know the power that you possess, you use it wisely and you cover your man. That's your responsibility. And if this was a different situation, you know me, I'm equal opportunities here. When I need to get onto the men about covering their women, and let me tell you something, I said before, that as black women, generally, we don't feel that our men protect us. So when we're seeing somebody, even in the most toxic and in the most inappropriate way, we are hailing it because we are not used to it. We aren't beneficiaries of it. We have all these programs, especially in the African or black community, where, you know, the mother-in-law will come to the house and be, you know, the wife will make some food and the mother-in-law will go there. Is this what you made for my son? My son doesn't like this kind of food, though. And the son will be sitting there like mugu. Someone will say nothing. Oh, baby, don't worry. You know it's my mother now. Just ignore her. We ain't protected. The person's famous, they have money. It's a lie. He didn't rape them. He stayed. He's raping black women, you know. Your sisters, black women. Oh, it's a lie. I stand with R. Kelly. Be standing. Bill Cosby admits that he drugs women and has sex with them. Where I come from, it's called rape. It's called rapey. But we would defend it. We don't get to be defended. So when we see it, we hold on to it because we don't know when it's going to come around again for us to see a woman being defended by her man. But ladies, like I said, if that's what you need to feel special, you need to check yourself. True power is knowing how to never use it to the detriment of the man you claim to love. True power is knowing how to never use it to the detriment to the man you claim to love. The end result is what you see now, which is this situation when it's flipped, when you don't use that power right. That's when that man thinks he's doing something for you and he's not. And finally, what I would just like to say is, at the end of the day, what would you like to be remembered for? What would you like to be remembered for? Because I'm going to tell you this real quick. Character is built. And we go through, let me tell you something. Everybody on this planet has a great destiny. I didn't say everybody on this planet was going to be a multi-millionaire or they were going to be famous. I said they would have a great destiny. What's a great destiny? A destiny fulfilled. That is a great destiny. A great destiny being a destiny fulfilled, meaning the reason why you are on this planet, once you are able to realize that calling, you fulfill destiny. But before you come to that place of fulfillment, there are different things that are going to happen in your life to train you for that great destiny, that destiny of fulfillment. If you don't learn your lesson well, what you should have learned in private, you will learn in public. And there you have the humiliation that you don't need. I have to give a shout out to Bishop Dorothy Kolawole. She's an amazing woman. I absolutely love her. And this bracelet she gave to me today. So isn't it sweet and beautiful? So thank you very much, Bishop. If you don't learn what you need to learn in private, because you know what you learn in private, it's to humble you. It's to build your character. When you don't allow yourself to go through a process of humility, that pride in you, that I don't want to learn my lesson, you know what will happen? You will learn it in full view of people. Let me make it simple. When I decided that I wanted to get married, I looked at myself, not physically. Those days I was fine. I looked at myself and I thought, you have got a problem. You don't regard people. You think you can just dump any man at the drop of a hat. I was merciless like that. I'm not going to lie. I had to find out, why do I exhibit these behaviors? I had to look in the mirror. Because if I didn't address that then, it would have manifested in my marriage. What was I going to do? Threaten my husband with divorce every 5 minutes? What you don't learn in private, what you don't learn in your quiet moment, you will learn when you have stepped into a place where you should have learned the lesson. Will Smith shouldn't have learned how to control his temper or how to protect his wife or how to enjoy the respect of his wife at the Oscars. Do that in private. When he had the situation with his wife back then, when everything came out, that's when the healing needed to be done. What was not necessary was go and get a red table, sit around it and spill your guts more. There's a time and there's a place. There's a time and there's a place. And if you don't humble yourself to learn certain lessons, I am telling you, lessons will humble you. And that's what we see. So for me, this conversation wasn't on that basic level of, well, I agree with Will Smith and I agree with Chris Rock. You know me, I'm too intelligent for that. No disrespect, but my brain works differently. There were far more deeper issues there. Black men, African men, men of color, learn to protect us women. Learn to protect us. Learn to stand up for us. When you hear that somebody is raping us, believe us. Don't turn around and humiliate us and say, oh, it's because he has money. Oh, she's lying. We are sick of it. And because of that, we are reduced to accepting the unacceptable, because that which we should have been enjoying, we aren't enjoying because you have been too silent. You too need to open your mouth and protect us and see the value that we have. Because when it comes to protecting you, we don't hesitate. Most of the time, we don't hesitate. Most of the time, we don't hesitate. We would defend and defend and defend and defend and defend. We are always the ones that are called to compromise. Black women, all the time. We need you to stand up for us once in a while. So that when we see a man standing up supposedly for his woman in a way that is unhealthy, in a way that doesn't even represent him as a black man, well, we won't look at it and think it's anything good. Please. What else have we learned today? Women, defend your man. Know that you are the safe space and place for him. And allow him to rest his head on your lap. But don't use it against him. Sisters, when you see that black woman with a weave on her head and a wig on her head, and your hair is natural, keep your mouth quiet and mind your business. Because you don't know what's underneath that wig. You don't know what's underneath that wig. I have many friends and what have you that have got issues with their hair. Don't go there. I myself, I have a lot of hair. My hair's thinned. I was going through such a period of stress that when I went to my hairdresser some time back, he said, my hair here is thinning. If I decide to wear a weave, what is your business in saying that, oh, well, it's better to go naturally? Mind your business. The only thing that's your business is your business. What I choose to put on my head is not your business. Mind your business. Because if you're going to get involved in this thing where I've seen a lot of people, oh, well, alopecia, she chose not to wear a wig. She's lucky, she's pretty, she's got the right bone structure. She's confident enough to shave her head. In fact, she was very happy to shave her head because she shaved it, in full view of everybody. Not every woman is like that. Allow people to be. Because if we're saying that we should allow Will Smith to grow and sympathize with him, allow women to be. Some women are evolving still. Allow us to be. So my final thoughts tonight is, you know what? It's very sad what has happened with Will Smith. There are no winners here. How can you, on the day that you reach your peak, the day of your greatest achievement is the day of your greatest downfall? It's sad. It's not a good thing. So I hope that we've learned a lot today. Thank you so much. So many of you watching tonight, which is great. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll be back next week. We've had a lot of conversations on Speak with Dilys. Last week we were talking about mothers who hate their daughters. The week before that we were talking about mothers who hate their sons. It has been some very deep conversations you will find here. Like I said, I don't normally talk about trending news, but I will speak about stuff if I feel that there is a learning from it. And I really do believe that there's a lot we could learn from this situation with what has happened. And we need to learn to support one another as well. So if Marvin is still on here, I mean, there's so many comments, I don't even know where I would start. If Marvin is still on here, I did promise to sing him happy birthday, but only if he's still on here. So Marvin, I scrolled right down. Do put a comment in the comment box and I will sing you your happy birthday as promised, because Marvin is 50 today. I'm not sure whether he was born in 1950 or if he's 50. Marvin said he's still there. Okay, so right, I'm going to sing Marvin happy birthday and then we gone. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. The tall, handsome, and suave, cool, calm, collected Marvin. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I always keep my promise. You can send the check in the post here. I'm only joking. So guys, thank you very much for a wonderful evening. I really do appreciate your time. Do come to the Speak with Dilys launch. It's on the 22nd of this month. Tickets are $49.99 for the VIP tickets. There is going to be, listen, there's going to be a lot of stuff. I just don't want to release everything. So please come. It would be great to have you there, or come as a regular participant. The tickets are $19.99. You're very welcome, Marvin. You're still going to be treated like royalty because I appreciate every single one of you. So guys, please do, thank you for the compliments, guys. If you want to hire me to sing happy birthday, y'all can do that. I do host events as well, so please do let me know if you have an event that you'd like me to host. I would love to do that. Guys, thank you for a wonderful evening. I really appreciate, the very many of you who've been watching tonight. Thank you so much. My third book is loading. It's on forgiveness. I have asked for people that have got stories on forgiveness to get in touch with me. Many of you have, and I'm very grateful. If there's any more of you, please do send me a message in my inbox. And I think that's it for tonight. I haven't stopped since this morning. Me tired. So people, I've got to go. Wonderful evening, guys. God bless you all. Have a great week. And if anybody needs to speak to me about anything private, do let me know. I am a coach. My consultations are free. So basically, I'm here for y'all. God bless you. Take care and good night. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you.